not a dramatic one. A quiet moment. You are sitting somewhere ordinary. On your bed. In your car. In a half-lit room at night. You scroll through your phone. You check your messages. You look at the names you thought mattered, and you realize something that changes your nervous system forever. No one is coming. No cavalry. No secret mentor. No investor who sees your potential. No friend who will sacrifice their comfort to help you build your future. If you collapse, the world will step over you. For most people, this realization is poison. It becomes the origin story of bitterness, depression, victimhood. They tell themselves a story. I was meant for more, but I had no support. I could have done something great, but no one helped me. The system is unfair. People are selfish. They shrink. They become small. But for a very rare type of person, this moment does something else. It hardens them. It flips a switch. They stop asking, "Who will save me?" and start asking, "What can I become if no one does?" If you are watching this, you already know this feeling. You feel the pressure of an ambition that makes people uncomfortable. You feel misunderstood. You feel like you are speaking a language no one around you understands. You are tired of explaining yourself, tired of justifying your goals, tired of waiting for encouragement that never arrives. So, let me say this clearly. Stop waiting. The belief that you need support to succeed is one of the most destructive lies modern society ever sold to ambitious people. Machiavelli understood this. So did conquerors. So did founders. So did men who rewrote history. History is not written by committees. It is written by individuals who learned how to function when the room was empty. I am going to show you how to win with no applause, how to build power with no witnesses, how to construct an empire in isolation. But understand something first. This is not motivational content. This is psychological surgery. We are going to remove the part of you that begs to be understood. We are going to cut out the need for approval. We are going to starve the social animal inside you until only the architect remains. If you need comfort, leave. If you need encouragement, close this. But if you are ready to become dangerous without permission, listen carefully. From the day you were born, you were trained to be dependent. School taught you to work in groups. Religion taught you to gather. Society taught you to network. You were programmed to believe progress only happens when other people lift you up. It's not what you know. It's who you know. That phrase has destroyed more potential than poverty ever could. Because the moment you accept it, you confess weakness. You admit your future depends on people who do not share your urgency. You surrender control to variables you cannot command. Machiavelli warned against this centuries ago. A ruler who depends on others for power is already defeated. Support is not free. Every favor creates a chain. Every investment creates ownership. Every emotional crutch gives someone the power to withdraw it. You think you are building safety? You are building leverage against yourself. A safety net is just a cage with softer bars. The real reason most people never rise is not because they lack support. It is because they are addicted to looking for it. They waste mental energy scanning for permission. They dilute their vision to avoid judgment. They soften their ambition so others feel comfortable. They wait for approval before they begin. You must reach what I call the 0 point. The moment you look at your resources, your connections, your account balance, and see nothing but yourself, this terrifies the average person. But it should liberate you. 0 support means 0 masters. If no one built you, no one owns you. If no one lifted you, no one controls your fall. If you construct everything alone, the throne belongs to you alone. This is not loneliness. This is ownership. Machiavelli wrote that it is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Translate this to ambition. When you chase support, you chase love. You want your family to understand, your friends to validate you, your circle to applaud. This creates emotional dependency. Dependency destroys authority. Desperation leaks from your behavior. People sense it, and they recoil from it. You have noticed this pattern. The more you explain your dreams, the smaller they become. The more you ask for help, the less seriously you are taken. To succeed without support, you must replace the desire to be loved with the commitment to be formidable. You no longer feed on encouragement, you feed on resistance. You look at the unanswered messages, the unread texts, the forgotten invitations, and instead of feeling rejected, you feel sharpened. They do not believe in you. Good. They will not dilute the reward. They will not slow your decisions. They will not interfere when you move fast and violently toward your goals. Picture a general abandoned on a battlefield. No army. No allies. Only terrain and weapons. Does he cry? Or does he become invisible? A single intelligent operator in the dark is more dangerous than 10,000 loud soldiers in the light. You are forced to become precise. You are forced to become efficient. A corporation needs meetings to decide what you can decide in 10 minutes. You can redirect your entire life before their calendar invite loads. Your isolation is not punishment. It is filtration. It removes liabilities. It removes traitors before they are close enough to betray you. It removes the weak before they can anchor you. So, how do you operate in this condition? You enter what I call the ghost phase. If you have no support, you have no audience. And if you have no audience, you have no reason to perform. Most people sabotage themselves by talking. They announce their goals. They describe their future. They collect opinions. This drains momentum. It replaces execution with conversation. The ghost does not speak. You take a vow of strategic silence. No announcements. No explanations. No big things. Coming soon. Pressure is created when ambition has nowhere to escape. That pressure becomes drive. It wakes you at night. It keeps your mind restless. It forces action. While supported people are soothed by reassurance, you are fueled by tension. You become obsessive. The world diagnoses obsession as imbalance. History calls it qualification. You learn more than everyone. You study deeper. You refine harder. You sharpen your skill until denial becomes impossible. Steve Martin said, "Be so good they cannot ignore you. Not so likable, not so agreeable, so competent they have no choice." Ironically, support only appears after success. People back winners. They avoid builders. When you emerge with results, they will say they believed in you all along. You will remember the silence. To survive this path, you must grieve. This is the part most people hide. You will mourn the future you imagined, the supportive parents, the loyal friends, the shared victories. They will not exist. You must bury that fantasy. It hurts physically, chest tightness, sleepless nights, doubt that echoes at 3 a.m. This is the wilderness phase. You have left the herd, but not yet built shelter. Your mind will beg you to return to comfort, to safety, to familiarity. You must refuse. You cannot unsee reality. You cannot unknow how rare independence is. You must kill the dependent version of yourself. So the sovereign can exist. You become your own authority, your own discipline, your own provider. You speak to yourself like a commander. Get up. Work. Focus. No one is coming. This creates a split. The weak voice and the strategic voice. The strategic voice must win until it becomes the only one left. Machiavelli described the ruler as adaptable, able to be harsh when necessary. You must become harsh with yourself first. Comfort delays evil. Support cushions failure. Isolation teaches consequences. When you fail alone, you feel it immediately. You correct faster. You adapt faster. You become anti-fragile. Now we change the story you tell yourself. Average people tell victim stories. You will tell a transformation story. Every rejection becomes fuel. Every dismissal becomes momentum. Every doubt becomes evidence you are early. Sadness weakens. Anger mobilizes. Channel it. They laughed. Work. They ignored you. Build. They doubted. outgrow them. Machiavelli observed that most people obey immediate comfort. You obey future power. You speak different psychology. Stop translating. Let results speak. When you win without witnesses, the victory is clean. No debts, no shared credit, only ownership. But this requires strategic isolation, not accidental loneliness. Design distance. Cut unnecessary contact. Stop paying social taxes to people who drain you. Sit in silence. Let the noise of other people's voices die. Listen to your own. That is where strategy is born. Partnerships fail. Alliances decay. Humans are unstable assets. If your plan depends on their consistency, it is weak. Machiavelli warned rulers about borrowed armies. Win with them, and you become their prisoner. Lose with them, and you are destroyed. Build with yourself. Own your leverage. Yes, it is harder. Yes, it is slower, but the foundation becomes unbreakable. One man airlifted to the mountain peak falls in strong wind. One man who climbed it becomes part of the stone. When you hit obstacles alone, smile. You are training. You are becoming irreplaceable. You are forced to learn everything. Marketing, systems, psychology, money, execution. You become a complete weapon. The specialist is replaceable. The builder is permanent. Look at your empty contact list and understand. It is forging you. Pain is energy. Most numb it. You weaponize it. Loneliness becomes output. Rejection becomes productivity. Broke becomes strategy. You create a reflex. Pain equals work. Machiavelli called this virtue, the capacity to bend chaos. Support makes you soft. Danger sharpens perception. Now, we talk about dark fuel. Light emotions fade. Dark ones remain. Pride, spite, aggression. Use them. Do not moralize your ambition. Rockets do not apologize for burning fuel. They burn or they fall. At night, when you want to quit, inspiration will not come. Spite will. If I stop, they were right. Let it drive you. You can become gentle later. First, escape gravity. You must become authoritarian with your time. No chaos. No negotiation. Rules. Wake early. Deep work. No distraction. Information, discipline. Nightly audit. You are your own government now. Networking is for the powerless. Build leverage first. Become necessary. Then doors open. Not before. And one day, you will succeed. And they will return. Smiling. Rewriting history. Saying we. You will not argue. You will not explain. You will maintain distance. You will understand human nature without resenting it. Your circle will remain small. Your gates closed. Your throne uncontested. This is sovereignty. Later, you may choose to support others. From strength, not need. But you will never forget the silence. The empty room. The cold beginning. That darkness becomes your anchor. You are not built for safety. You are built for control. The sheep seeks warmth. The wolf creates it. Choose. Because here is the brutal truth. When you remove people, you remove friction, but you also remove structure. And without structure, most humans decay. Freedom without discipline turns into rot. This is where weak men disappear. They finally get independence and waste it. They wake up late. They scroll. They confuse motion with progress. They mistake comfort for stability. And 6 months later, nothing has changed. If you are going to succeed alone, You cannot live like a civilian. You must live like a controlled system. You need laws, not motivation, not inspiration. Laws. Motivation is emotional. Laws are mechanical. Your future will not be built by feelings. It will be built by protocol. So we begin with the most dangerous moment of your day. The first 60 seconds after you wake up. This is when the civil war starts. Your body wants warmth. Your mind wants avoidance. Your nervous system wants yesterday. And your future wants obedience. Most people lose this battle before their feet touch the floor. They negotiate. 5 more minutes. I deserve rest. I'll work later. That voice is not you. It is the survival animal. And survival is not enough anymore. You must train yourself to obey commands, not comfort. When your eyes open, you move. There is no debating, no bargaining, and no stories. This single habit rewires your identity, teaching your brain that orders are followed, not discussed. Your next step is work, not busy work, or fake productivity, but deep work. Isolation gives you an unfair advantage, so you cut out meetings, interruptions, and social theater. You lock the door, kill notifications, and enter a tunnel for 4 hours with one objective and one direction. This is where empires are built. While corporations need committees, you need silence. This is asymmetric warfare. They use numbers, but you use precision. Your mind is your only weapon, and if you poison it with news, drama, and outrage, you deserve to lose. Most people consume noise that turns their internal world into chaos, but you cannot afford chaos. Instead, study, strategy, psychology, money, and power. Machiavelli studied Rome, not gossip. You must feed on material that sharpens rather than comforts. At night, audit yourself brutally. Ask if you built today or if you escaped. You are both the general and the soldier. Reward discipline and punish weakness. This is not cruelty, but alignment. You must embrace your shadow, the parts of you that crave dominance, status, revenge, and control. Society teaches you to suppress these to be polite and harmless, but harmless men are easy to control. Machiavelli respected capability, not harmlessness. Aggression is not evil. Only uncontrolled aggression is. Integrated aggression is power. Stop apologizing for wanting freedom, which requires leverage, and leverage requires superiority in skill, knowledge, capital, and strategy. When you are alone and anger surfaces, do not numb Italiano, direct it. Turn humiliation into focus, rejection into stamina, and rage into output. This is the alchemy of turning pain into productivity. Support creates psychological safety, but safety slows. Your nervous system must feel pressure, as pressure unlocks intelligence and forces creativity. You must cultivate discipline without dependency, no accountability partners, no motivation groups, and no masterminds. You become your own authority, judge, and executioner. Avoid the trap of standard networking, cards, and handshakes. This is poverty behavior that signals need. Power attracts, it does not chase. Build until you are unavoidable. Become infrastructure and essential, and alliances will come to you. As the lonely stage deepens, you will feel invisible for weeks or months. This is the test where most quit, not because they failed, but because no one noticed. You must become immune to invisibility and take pride in quiet dominance and private victories. During this time, you will become emotionally colder and more precise. You will stop justifying yourself, creating a distance that generates gravity and authority. When you fail alone, it cuts deeper, but this pain accelerates learning, making you antifragile, while others remain padded and soft. Visualize the future where you have money, control, and status. People from your past will return, claiming they always believed in you. Do not argue or seek justice. Distance is your justice. You do not recruit from your past. You rule your future. Your trust becomes mathematical, not emotional. Once you win without support, you can become support for others, but only selectively. You invest in potential and give guidance, not dependency. Leaders are forged in isolation deserts, prisons, and silence. Support creates citizens. Isolation creates architect. If this path feels heavy or your chest tightens, that is your weak identity fighting extinction. Let it die. The empty chair beside you is not a symbol of loss, but a seat of authority waiting for you to grow into it. Move outward from psychology to leverage. Build skills that create dependency. Coding, financial modeling, or system architecture. Master hard skills that are invisible weapons. Secure economic leverage by controlling cash flow, and information leverage by owning your distribution channels. As your competence grows, your circle will shrink because your mind creates value and you stop spending it cheaply. When you finally emerge with influence and options, do not confuse nostalgia with loyalty. Trust is built in storms, not sunshine. You must govern your inner circles strictly. Keep only those who build, protect, or multiply. Move from survival to legacy, becoming an architect who designs ecosystems. Remember your origin and the silence to protect yourself from arrogance. You were not unlucky. You were selected. Isolation was filtration. You were trained in the dark to operate in the light. Ultimately, you will stop asking for permission or negotiating with reality. You will realize that power is not control over others, but independence from them. When your survival no longer depends on approval, you become ungovernable. The victory will feel quiet because you paid the emotional cost in advance. You will be misunderstood. Your calm mistaken for coldness. Your standards for cruelty but clarity does not require consensus. The empty chair is a throne that belongs to the one who survives silence. You were never meant to be supported. You were meant to be forged.